Peace in, folks. How you doing? Use the force. Positive mental attitude. We might as well, eh? So welcome to the new norm. It's all through a screen now, isn't it? We don't do face to face. I'm playing. I'm dramatising it. I'm sure that, you know, lockdowns will finish and the government won't perpetuate this bullshit. But I don't actually believe that. I think they're going to try. So I'm up for revolution. But, you know, that aside, let's think about what the new norm is. Let's think about what embracing Zoom calling is, what embracing standing in the line is, what embracing towing the line is, right? Like, how healthy is it for us to trust all these politicians that have lied to us for so many years? It's not, is it? And now there's so much untrust around the world, globally, that people are rebelling for all reasons. You know, it's not like everyone thinks that the hierarchical structure is the fundamental problem. That's just some people's song. Some people think that the economic structure is the fundamental problem. You know, lots of different things. Some people don't necessarily think the system's a problem. They just think, you know, that the technology's a problem, you know, and that we're harming the planet, you know. And that's a very interesting topic. We're not going to quite side onto it. We're going to, what's the new norm? No, side it. Let's go there. Global warming. It's really interesting. Like, you know, if you actually go looking at it and you look at what everyone's saying, and I suggest going and finding a guy called Randall Carlson. I've said his name before. I'll probably say it again because Randall Carlson is highly informed, and all the geological studies that they're finding, all the coring into the ice caps shows the CO2 levels in the air. It shows the temperatures on the planet around it. It shows so much, and it's fascinating. And actually, when you look at the type of temperature raises we're having and the type of temperature raises there have been, you look at the melting ice caps, you look at all types of things. As much as I wouldn't deny humans' input into this current supposed problem, I would also say that it's highly possible that nature is doing what it does, right? If you look back through the history of Earth, it's not like we've always kept 4 nice straight seasons, if you're in England. You know, the seasons move differently around the world, right? Mate, there's some parts of the globe where the sun hardly ever sets, right? Is it all year or just for like half? I think it's just over half the year or something, isn't it? The sun doesn't set, it's just permanent day. It sort of goes from dusk to dawn looking, right? Love that. But what is the new norm, man? So I'm going to jump back to it. I'm just sidetracking like a motherfucker. The ozone's worth looking at. That's why I'm worth mentioning it. The CO2 levels, history, right? This is what I say. Like, it's so good to just goon. Don't goon the series, right? Goon some history, right? Just have a massive session finding some ancient history. If you want to start off sort of like, you know, what is it? The Pyramid Code on Netflix, right? There's plenty of things on Netflix you can get that are just food for thought. Right? Don't take any of it as concrete. This is sort of like, I think it's a key point, is don't take anything as concrete. That old saying, take it with a pinch of salt, right? Like, I think there's serious call for that when you start looking into information and asking questions. And also, just anything, don't take something as that is, you know, ask the questions, right? That's all I'm saying, is ask the questions, right? Of yourself as much as you do of the world out there, right? Like, so what if you're a nice person? How much more aware could you be? Because when I watch people driving around, which is a great telltale because they're all in their safe bubble, and we all damn well know it, because we all know them people that get road rage that wouldn't say boo to a goose. And I'm not saying that in like but I'm saying like real talk, observations. Like, you can really watch people, you know, and there's a lot less observations, and you can just do it. People watching. It's one of my favourite things. I used to love sitting in a cafe before we had to find the new normal, and I'm going to get back to it. and just people watching, and it's very interesting to see how movements of people change and how they act, and you know, it tells a lot about people, right? So we've all got a bit more awareness we could grab, me included, right? But what do we want to do about this new normal? We're just gonna, you know, I think it's worth thinking about, right? Yeah, sure. It's what to do, right? Like I want mass movements of things, but until people are not thinking like they need a leader to tell them what to do, until we get a cohesive movement with an agreement that is the leader, the agreement is the leader, right? Until we get to that, I think that it's going to be very tricky to do anything, which is why I think we need there's many people doing many things, right? And I'm fucking where I am in whatever process of who's doing what. I don't care, I'm doing what I'm doing, right? And I'm calling for more awareness and more people to come together, to be self-aware, to be informed on the world around us, so that we can start making moves in a healthy direction forward, regardless of the current system. Because it's not helping us, you know. In fact, it's poisoning minds. You know, the news, the media pumps out all types of, and it's not just on the like mainstream side. I see stuff rolling through the like alternative media world that is so fucking separatist and divide, and it's just like, I keep saying to people, I'm like, look, like we need to be able to like, because there's people that will agree that there's government corruption, then they're arguing about some other stuff and like calling each other names, and you're like, look, we need to deal with the matter and deal with it proper, right? Big up, Skipper. But seriously, we've got to deal with the matter and deal with it proper. So we've got to take our time, we've got to be thoughtful, and we've got to stop arguing with each other. I'm all open for conversation, right, which is what I try and do. So I don't get into slanging anyone off. I don't put down their point of view. I don't put the person down unless I get sick of someone constantly having jabs at me. And then on my last thing, I might leave them a little jab, just as a little finger on the way out, because I'm not like it's all peace and love. In fact, the more I go on, the more I think it's about balance, the more I think it is about accepting the bad and not just hugging it and giving it some love, going, all right, well, I understand that it's natural for me to feel and interact with you, but how far do you go with that, right? Like, there's one thing, allowing yourself to feel anger because someone has wronged you in some way. But then, how much level of anger are you feeling to what they did, you know? Like, and this is where, like, well, I sing the self-awareness song, because then we don't get stuck in a new norm. Hit like. Hit like for no new norm, right? Everyone who watches this that doesn't want a new norm where we're all just trapped in screens communicating with each other with no real human interaction, hit like. Nice one. So, I think we've all got the ability to do what it takes. I don't believe we need a leader. Obviously, I think that's the last thing we need. So, you know, I think it's worth taking the time to look at the system we're in, to look at the situation we're in, to ask questions of it, of how we got here. And don't just take one narrative. Most of us know the BBC, like talking to anyone who's in, you know, England, Europe, we know the BBC narrative. Right? I mean, it's pretty well known all around the world, right? The BBC narrative. Look for other narratives. Go find them. There's lots of them, and it's very fucking interesting because there's as much evidence to point at so many other possibilities, and there is the history line we're taught, you know? And it's worth, you know, it's just worth knowing how heinous the people are that are ruling the planet, so that we know. We, as those that want to stand for good, right? I'm promoting balance, but I do believe that we need to promote the good because we're so out of balance. I believe in the fundamental point being whereby we actually are more balanced as a people, as a collective, so that there isn't such a need to really grab for the good and really push on the bad or whatever. It's that it's there. You understand that people are going to fall out, but you're not going to drop bombs on them. just because they won't do it your way. Right? Like, school was a long time ago for some of us. So take these things to deep levels in every fucking thing you do. You know, that's what I do. I'm nuts. If there's something I want to work on, I just take it to every moment of my life because I feel I learn it quicker. But so we can achieve a lot, and I believe in us all. Whether that makes any difference to anyone or not is whatever. This is my motivation. I'm motivated by the good for all and to bring balance to humanity. Because I think that's important. I think if we've got balance, we've got longevity of healthy, awesome life, right? Like, there's no reason, no rhyme or reason other than command and fucking conquer, divide and conquer, right? That's the only reason why we're not living a fucking epic life in tune with the planet and everything else, is because of divide and conquer. So I say we give them all the middle finger, right? With a smile on our faces, like, see you later, we're done with your bullshit. But that's not happening overnight, is it? We've got to talk about it. We've got to rally ourselves. We've got to help other people to realise why. But that's a very hard thing to do. It takes a lot of patience. And even then, like, I've shown some people some undeniable truths and they've just said they don't want to deal with it. That is really hard to deal with. Yeah, and I didn't like get angry with the person or anything. I had to stop seeing them for a while, and they took that personally, and I can't help that. And part of me feels like I let myself down a little bit because I didn't like pursue it deeper. But it just, because I feel like this is so important, it's like I accept everyone's right to do what they want to do, but I don't need to be around them all the time. Like, I will sit and have a conversation with someone who I can have differing views on life with, but it doesn't mean I want to spend all my time with them. You know, regardless of what you may or may not, it makes no difference to me. Right now, I'm focused on change. I'm focused on healthy change for us all. And everything else to me is a little bit of a whatever. You know, everything I'm doing is focused on that, whether it's working on myself, whether it's gaining information, whether it's working hard on musical stuff, audio engineering, you know, because I want to help other people. And I want to help people that have got a voice for something. You know, I'll help anyone, really, but, like, musically, I'd love to help some people that have got a real voice. They've got something to say. You know, they just need to record and get it down, and I can help them, you know. So it's about that sharing is caring, right? So anyway, I'm done. That's good for me today. I hope you're well. Let's consider what the new normal is. Let's consider what's just happened to us over the last year. Let's consider how we got to this point. Let's at least consider the fact that our minds have been pushed in a direction that has made it increasingly easier to separate us and get us to be more subdued. So the police are literally, one man having a protest is getting shoved off the streets. They're having no word against anything. Freedom of speech, like I was saying yesterday, is important, man, because it's not just freedom of speech, it's freedom of our spirits. We've got to liberate ourselves, my friends. Anyway, use the force. Positive mental attitude. Be kind with your thoughts to yourselves like you would for others. Keep loving your hearts for yourselves like you would for others. And let's get it. Awareness, right? Peace in. See you later.